History by Hollywood, a podcast series that examines the facts behind the movies that claim to be based on true events. Bad Movie Fiends. Each week, a different terrible movie is dissected by the hosts. It's been done before. Hosts Matt, Mike, and Britt give their thoughts and opinions on all the sequels, remakes, reboots, and carbon copies of plots and movies that Hollywood has to offer. Ship It podcast, a tribute to TV and film by Ship It Studios. This podcast revisits listeners' favorite movies and shows through reviews, mates, power rankings, and fantasy drafts. The Film Reroll. The Film Reroll. Show me the meaning. A movie podcast from YouTube channel Wisecrack that dives into the deeper meaning and cultural significance of the most and least iconic movies of the age. F this movie. F this movie. The Next Picture Show. This podcast, a part of the Filmspotting family of podcasts, is a bi-weekly roundtable by the former editorial team of The Dissolve, examining how classic films inspire and inform modern movies. Flick-faced. I'll buy the popcorn podcast. Two best friends review a wide range of big-name releases. Monday Movie Munchie Madness. Reviews and discussion for movies recently released in theaters. The Film Program. Film Junk. Film Junk. Classic Film Jerks. Filmspotting. William Looking. 60 Minutes with Michael Hardy. Cinema Sins. Cinema Sins. This had Oscar buzz. Outplaying the Movie Review podcast. Slate's spoiler specials. The Empire Film Podcast. Cult Filler Instinct. Doug Loves Minis. God-Awful Movies. A podcast that provides criticism for Christian movies from both artistic and atheistic points of view. Hold My Popcorn. In-depth movie review podcast that features several comedic hosts making fun of the good movies and trashing the bad ones. Blank Check. Griffin Newman and David Sims go beyond individual movies to review directors' complete filmographies, specifically those whose early successes saw them given a blank check from Hollywood to produce passion projects. Kermode and Mayo's Film Review. Mark Kermode and Simon Mayo of BBC Radio 5 Live join up weekly to discuss new releases and hear list stars discuss their newest films. Piecing It Together. A podcast looking at the influence of previous movies on the ones being produced today, analyzing the various aspects that might have inspired contemporary filmmakers. Faculty of Horror. Tackling all things horror with a slash of analysis and research, horror journalists and occasional academics Andrea Subasati and Alexandra West host for brain-plumping discussions on all things that go bump in the night. The Flophouse. Three friends mock bad movies and give comedic takes, typically focusing on more recent releases. I was there too. Matt Gurley of Super Ego, Drunk History, and James Bonding interviews movie industry insiders who were in the room when scenes from classic TV and cinema happened. You must remember this. Former LA Weekly film critic Karina Longworth writes, narrates, records, and edits each episode of this nonfiction storytelling podcast that goes behind the scenes of Hollywood's first century of film, sorting through both facts and mythology as she goes along. We hate movies. Each week, the hosts gather to watch extremely bad movies to use as fuel for unpredictable comedic commentary. Filmspotting. This Chicago-based weekly podcast and radio show features reviews, interviews, and top 5 lists hosted by Adam Kempenaar and John Larson. Doug loves movies. Comedian Doug Benson Super High Me, last comic standing, invites his friends to sit down and discuss his first love, movies. The Slash Filmcast. Also known as the Slash Filmcast, this podcast sees self-described hardcore geeks David Chen, Devindra Hardawar, and Jeff Cannatareview debate and discuss the latest entertainment news and releases with each other as well as weekly guests. Cinephile, the Adnan Virk movie podcast. Dazzling sportscaster and former ESPN host / anchor Adnan Virk gives in-depth reviews and commentary on new releases and chats with big names in entertainment about their careers. The Film Vault. Anderson Cowan of Loveline and Brian Bishop of The Adam Carolla Show give listeners weekly top 5 lists and screening reviews of new and old releases. The Resistance broadcast. Twice a week, staff members and contributors from Star Wars Newsnet bring in their takes and speculation on all of the latest news and fun topics from that galaxy far, far away. Screen Fix. A weekly movie and TV show news and review podcast featuring quirky comedic hosts. Movies, Films, and Flix. A conversational grab bag of movie commentary and reviews, debates, and funny tangents relating to both new and old movies. The Secret History of Hollywood. An ongoing series that tells behind-the-scenes stories of movies and people that shaped cinema, with each individual story released in multi-part installments. Award Wieners podcast. 2 hosts discuss Oscar-winning films while enjoying Oscar Mayo winner hot dogs. The Big Picture. Sean Fennessy of The Ringer sits down with Hollywood's biggest filmmakers and other Ringer colleagues to review new films and discuss the industry as a whole. Movie Crush. Stuff You Should Know's Chuck Bryant sits down with different people every week to discuss their favorite movie, why, what it says about them, and more. The Qwipster Film Review Podcast. Film critic Vince Leo reviews the latest film releases in the theaters, covering blockbusters, independent films, foreign titles, and VOD. The Rewatchables. This podcast from the Ringer Podcast Network features Bill Simmons and a group of people from the Ringer universe discussing movies they like to watch over and over. How did this get made? Friends Paul Scheer, Diane Raphael, and Jason Mantzoukas take suggestions for so bad it's good movies to watch with their friends, and then report their thoughts. Sweet Film Talk. A podcast dedicated to reviewing movies, covering anything from great to terrible. The Weekly Planet. Hosted by James Clement and Nick Mason. This is a podcast covering movies, TV shows, comics, reviews, and news, and is the first on the Planet Broadcasting Network. Lights, Camera, Barstool. A movie podcast from Barstool Sports hosted by Jeff Lowe and Ken Jack, where movies, food, and pop culture are discussed in a free-form, casual manner.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.